Welcome back inside the Chamber of Truth with your co-host Leek and Josh. All right, today we are here to talk about a major upset that just happened in boxing this past weekend at the super middleweight division. We had Jaime Munguia taking on Bruno Surace in a homecoming fight for Jaime Munguia on Top Rank, and he was stopped by Bruno in the 6th round. So, Josh, I didn't get to watch this fight. I was handling some business. So I'm going to pitch it to you to give us a breakdown of what happened in this fight. And I got a couple questions for you after this. But go ahead and give us a breakdown of what you saw and why this fight was exciting to you.
Absolutely. And before I do that, can you do me one favor?
What's that?
I want you to bring up the records for me.
I got you.
Including the KO records.
Jaime Munguia, before this fight, was 44-1 with 35 knockouts. Ooh. His only loss coming to Canelo by decision. Bruno Surace was 25-0 with 2 draws with 5 knockouts.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is the epitome of boxing for me. On paper, you say Jaime Munguia was what, 44-1?
Yeah, 44-1.
44-1 with 35 KOs. Mm-hmm. Versus a man 25-0. Mm-hmm. With 5 KOs and 2 draws.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was a setup. Jaime Munguia and this fight was fought in his hometown of Tijuana, Mexico. Mm-hmm. This was just a stepping stone for Jaime Munguia, but you got to realize, ladies and gentlemen, to Bruno Surace, he had never been to this world-class level. This is his opportunity to put his name on the map. So what a stepping stone is to another man is a life-changing opportunity to another man. Now, on paper, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see Jaime Munguia and you're going to, he's going to roll over Bruno Surace. And to be completely honest with you, that's exactly how it went. And before I get into the fight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to kind of break down the type of fighters that these dudes are. Jaime Munguia is an all-action, all-pressure style fighter who throws unlimited amount of shots when he gets comfortable and gets rolling, has an excellent chin, and he's just an exciting fighter. He never stops moving forward. He never stops throwing punches. He has really good body punching, a really good left hook to the liver, really good left hook to the head, and he even takes shots himself, which is what makes him exciting.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, if you've watched his past fights with Sergey Derevianchenko, Gabriel Rosado, John Ryder, even a few other fighters, even a guy named, I think, Bizian, which was his last fight. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaime Munguia gets hit a lot. He gets countered a lot. He throws wild shots. He can get too excited. He can get too aggressive. He can get sloppy with his footwork. He can get sloppy with overthrowing punches. He can get sloppy with throwing too many punches, leaving himself open, keeping his head on the same line. He just gets hit a lot. But ladies and gentlemen, his chin is what's held him up. His chin is what's held him up this whole time.
Yeah, his chin held up against Canelo.
Absolutely. So you think there's no way Canelo can't knock this guy out. There's no way this guy can get knocked out.
The guy with 4 knockouts.
4 knockouts. A less than 20% KO ratio. But ladies and gentlemen, like I've said all my life, you can say what you want, but you must fight man. So basically, and to be honest with you, the first 3 rounds, Bruno Surace was very cautious. Like I said,
he got dropped in the second.
He got too anxious, threw a right cross and a left hook behind that, leaving his head on the same line. And Jaime Munguia did exactly what he was supposed to do and countered him with a short left hook. It was beautiful. But this is the wonderful and beautiful thing about boxing that I want to point out. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruno Surace had just gotten knocked down from a vicious left hook from a very well-known knockout puncher, a very well-known boxer. And this boxer's own hometown of Tijuana, Mexico. He's on the canvas. Things aren't looking good for him. He's going against a power puncher that, this is supposed to happen anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very easy in that moment for your will to say, I've made it enough. This is a high level of sport. I've done well enough. If I get knocked out here, it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruno Surace got and picked himself up. And to Munguia's credit, Munguia went after him and pressured him, obviously, and kept winning rounds. But Bruno Surace slowly got himself back into the fight. Was using lateral movement. Only punched when there were clear openings. Only threw shots when Jaime Munguia left openings or left openings for counter shots. Then he started throwing double jabs. There was even a sequence where he threw a double jab and a right cross and a left hook. And from there, Bruno Surace got a lot of confidence and realized himself, hey, I can fight with this guy. And basically, that's exactly what happened. Though it did seem at times that Munguia was taking over the momentum. Munguia was winning all the rounds, but to Bruno's credit, he was staying in the fight, staying composed, wasn't taking big shots, and was hitting Munguia with clear shots of himself, even hitting Munguia with an uppercut shortly before Bruno Surace knocked him out. But basically, ladies and gentlemen, Jaime Munguia came up on him, I think in the 6th round or 7th round, tried to throw a combination, and lazily, as he's done in many fights, left himself open to be countered. And Bruno Surace, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about the power of the punch. A lot of times, it's about the timing and placement of the punch. It's not the power, it's the timing and placement. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, Munguia left himself open. Surace saw an opening and threw a mean short jab and a right overhand right on the button. And Jaime Munguia never saw it. And after that, that's all she wrote.
So that quickly, a stepping stone, what seemed to be a stepping stone for Jaime Munguia now becomes a step back. Which puts him back into a position where now he has to work his way back up. Regardless, the road may be short, it may be long.
Absolutely.
He has to work his way back into title contention at 168. What does this do for Bruno Surace? Does this catapult him into another level that he wasn't at before?
First of all, Bruno Surace was top 15 already. Bruno Surace doing this, beating one of the... Jaime Munguia is probably the biggest star at 168 pounds other than Canelo. Maybe other than Caleb Plant, possibly. There's an argument to be made. But he bested damn near the second best, if not the third best, 168 pounder in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, that just puts you... He may get a title shot. This may get him the Canelo sweepstakes.
Knowing Canelo is very possible.
Absolutely. Knowing Canelo may see this and go, yeah, give him opportunity. He won. Now, that's the beautiful thing about boxing, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, yeah, that's good for Surace. I mean, that, like you said, that catapults him into a new stratosphere. So
absolutely.
It could be a different level.
His whole life changes damn near now.
Off one punch.
He's going to get guaranteed 3 big fights in his career based off this win. Based off
that one punch. Because like I said, Munguia was still, doing what he was supposed to do to the other parts of the fight, dominating the fight, and then it just comes down to he makes that huge mistake and got caught.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly why you don't ever want to trust in your chin. Having a chin is great, but you want to use that chin only when you absolutely need it. Jaime Munguia left himself open, and to his credit, he's taken many shots, but he had never been hit like that on the button.
Yeah, and like I said, it's the placement and the timing of the punches. Timing and placement equal power. Just as much as the force you generate with your punch.
Teach them boxing. Yes.
So, I can do a little something. I know.
You're learning. As a pupil.
But yeah, so that's a great win for Bruno Surace. Interested to see what's next for him. Maybe, he becomes a player in some of these fights with these other names at the division. The Edgar Berlangas, I saw him tweet out, Munguia fucked up the bag by losing this fight, which leads me to say, okay, well, why don't you go look at Caleb Plant? But maybe Bruno Surace takes that place because we know you don't want to fight Caleb Plant right now, Berlanga. There's a couple other big fights.
Absolutely. But the one thing is that, ladies and gentlemen, Jaime Munguia has exercised his rematch clause, and so he will be fighting Bruno Surace again immediately.
Well, so yeah, and so Munguia, as he should, get his opportunity to come back and reclaim that, get it back in blood. So we'll see how that goes when it gets scheduled. Obviously, gonna need some time off to recover and get ready for that. So we'll be here to cover that when the time comes. But good fight. Good shake-up in the division. Glad to see some activity going on there since Benavidez and Morrell both absconded from the division because of Canelo's actions of both guarding the belts. So this division needed a little bit of action. So
absolutely
glad to see something happen in it. So that was cool. But cool. Get back with us next time inside the Chamber of Truth.